Death Note is a 2006 spiritual horror anime series starring a bunch of nerds. It's about a guy who finds a notebook which whosever name you write in it will kill them. And as is with most anime series like this one, it was based on a manga, which is apparently way darker at some bits, which I thankfully haven't read. But all of them push one crucial idea: killing is wrong, with caveats, like self-defense. But what if you weren't just defending 2 or 3 people from something? What if you were defending the entire globe from some people? And who would these people be? That's wrong, criminals. And yeah, that pretty much sums up the entire way that Kira thinks about murdering people. And it's actually kind of weird, because even though Kira's kind of a villain, I'm still rooting for him, because he's the main character. It's kind of like what happened with that one Joker movie, you know what I mean? And just like with that movie, which I haven't watched, I'm also rooting for the people trying to catch Kira to fail. It starts with this guy Light in his English class, bored out of his mind because he has nothing to do, easily one of the most relatable situations ever. And then, just conveniently, a Death Note falls out of the sky and catches his eye, and then, after a bit of hesitation, he takes it home with him and tries it out. And sure enough, it works! After 5 days of writing in his Death Note, a Shinigami comes and tells him, like, well, you can't go to heaven anymore, so I hope this was worth it. And he's like, yeah, I guess it is. And for the next few days, things go pretty normally until the government finds out about what he's doing, and apparently he could actually be killed for this, which doesn't really make sense because you're killing a killer who kills killers, and the person who's executing them is technically in themselves a killer. So what kind of logic is this? If you can't tell already, I am a bit of a Kira fan, but I'm just going to save that for last. And then the FBI and Interpol and all these other people start coming to Japan to try and until eventually he's backed into a corner. So he relinquishes the control of the notebook so that he'll forget all about it and join the investigation. Until eventually he, L, and all the other investigators find the new owner of the Death Note. Light remembers that he was Kira and murders the new guy who owned the Death Note, and then uses
his former girlfriend's Shinigami to go murder L.
And the second time this happens, he gets found out by L's little cousin Nia, and so then he exposes him in front of all the other agents working for him, and he's gunned down and beaten to death on January 28th, 2013 or 2010.
I've already got what I want.
Now, at the start of the anime, it's clear that Light is a genuinely good person. He constantly beats himself up about even considering picking up the Death Note thinking it's real, and when he's confirmed that it's real, he has a nervous breakdown in a back alley saying,
殺してしまった。二人もこの僕が命だ。軽いはずがない。僕に勝手に人を裁く権利があるのか。
But then he suddenly changes his mind.
違う。いつも思ってたことじゃないか。世の中腐っている。腐ってる奴は死んだ方がいい。誰かがやらなくてはいけないんだ。自らの精神や命を犠牲にしてでも。
And for a little while afterwards, he was back to his normal self, until he realised that L was supposedly talking trash about him on the news, and so he tried writing his supposed name in the Death Note. And he's laughing like he just watched the best that YouTube has to offer.
どうした？何とか言ってみろ。
But then... And so obviously he's pissed off after this that he didn't get to kill L. And for the next few episodes, his eyelids are getting thicker and thicker and thicker until he has this constant look of harsh, angsty, stoic evilness on his face at all times. You cannot convince me that there is a single thought behind these cold, dead eyes. And it's clear as day, because just a couple moments later, he gives up ownership of the notebook, and his eyes expand to be bigger than your mum's. Look at how they're dazzling. There's actual hope. There's emotions behind those eyes. And he starts begging and pleading for his freedom, which kind of reminds me of this one scene from the Three Stooges.
Forget it! It was a bad idea! I don't want nothing!
Anyway, after a quick mock execution, he's actually a good person now, and so he joins the Kira investigation, and they catch the new owner of his former Death Note. But then L makes a tragic mistake. He gives Light the death note.
Instantly, memories of his evil self start rushing back.
His mind reels as he screams in pain, the sound second only to this one scene from Stranger Things. Within the minute, all of his personality is lost, and in a week, Elle will be dead. But before he dies, he goes up onto the balcony to hear a mysterious bell ringing. It doesn't seem to be coming from anywhere, and he cannot agree with himself what it is. Light and Elle go back downstairs and dry off, where Elle gives Light a brief foot massage. The music that circles above them seems almost happy and dark at the same time, which hints at his further fate later on. I cannot begin to describe how much Elle's death affected me. I didn't cry, but on the inside I was absolutely devastated. Light started off just killing criminals and murderers, but now he's just killing anyone who gets in his way. I can almost forget that he's also killing criminals too. Even though they're fighting Kira despite him making their jobs easier, they still didn't deserve to die. Elle didn't deserve to die. He was an absolute legend, just like the rest of you who've subscribed, so please, go subscribe.